Hey everybody, it's me again. Told you I'd be back. Yeah, this is part 2 of my Savage series. And if you're just tuning into this one and you missed out on the first one, go back and check it out. That was the first rifle in this. I'm gonna call it. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, on this, it's my 5-part series. Well, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4-part series. Now I'm up to speed. I'm doing a 4-part series on my personal Savage firearms. I started with the 17 HMR. Go back and check that out. Beautiful gun. Love the way it shoots. It's good for beginners. Good for even kids. So now I'm moving on to the next one. This is part 2, and this one is on the Savage Mark II 22 long rifle, bolt action. With the exception of the shotgun that I will be showing you, all of these are bolt action. I don't have any Savage semi-autos. Personal preference. So I'm just going over and showing what, there's nothing special really about any of these guns. My 17 HMR, again, that is a beautiful gun. They don't all come that way. I've had a hard time, as I said in the previous video, I've had a hard time finding another one like that. So, I've seen the laminated stocks, but the stocks are carved a little different. I have not found one with that particular fluted barrel. I have seen the bull barrels, but not the fluted and twisted like that. So there's that. And all of my, only one of my Savage rifles came without scopes. I only have one that came with the scope, and that will be the Creedmoor that will be coming up in part 3. So anyway, let's get on with this. Okay, my next one, I'm gonna put this out because I know some of you people are like, "Ooh, smoking is gross." Well, so is licking a cat's butt, but there's people that do it. Let me get a quick swig of Old Joe. I got to shout out to Black Rifle Coffee Company because they are the shit, y'all. Keeps me happy. Oh, okay. All right, let's get on with this. 22 long rifle, Savage Mark II, composite stock. This did come with the sling studs in it. It's got the one up here, and of course the one down here. I'm sure that's not something that everybody really wants to see, considering, hey, a sling stud's a sling stud. But in the past, I have had rifles that came without sling studs, and I had to put my own in. Of course, fortunately, now, I've got I got one shotgun. Yeah, I've only got one shotgun that I had to put sling studs on, and that was the Hatfield. But anyway, again, everybody can see this gun is cleared. No magazine, so it's cleared. Oh yeah, I already had the trigger pulled, that's why. Gun's empty. So this one, it's what it is. It's a 22 long rifle, 20, I believe that's a 20-inch barrel. Maybe, should I measure so I don't give false information? Do I have a tape measure in here? I do. Let me grab my tape measure from right over here on the bench. I gotta go behind my chair to do it. We're gonna set this down over here on my little makeshift table. We're gonna grab this tape measure. And I believe that that's something I did not mention. Let me go over here real quick and I'll measure this. And I will give you guys the information on this barrel, on the 17, which I did not provide in the previous video. That is a 20-inch. Okay. Yep. Just what I thought. Okay, stick with me, people. I'm coming back right now. Okay. Okay, so since I know I forgot to mention it in the in part one on the 17 HMR, that is a 20-inch barrel on that. Now this one is, I believe it's a 20. It is a 20-inch barrel, and I measure my barrel from the front of the action to the end of the barrel. I do not count. I do not measure. I mean, I know there's some people that, you know, they will measure to, you know, just before the trigger. They count the chamber and all that as part of the barrel. I don't. I think that, you know, the proper way to measure it. So that's what I've given you, the information I've given you. 20-inch on the 17 HMR, 20-inch on the Mark II. Oh, the other thing I did not mention on the 17 HMR is that does not have any type of, like, when you buy it, or the one that I have anyway, it does not have sights on it. There are no irons. And I guess that's just, they're counting on people putting scopes on them. So there's that. And I think that's about all, the only stuff. Oh, and that one came with a 5-round magazine. Just a little box mag. It's not a rotary. I don't have the magazine over here, so I won't show you that yet. This one, this rifle came with a 10-round box mag. It's what it is. It's a Plinker rifle, but it's a good rifle. This is, I mean, obviously, you know, this and the 17 free-floated barrels. But anyway, Savage does a really good job. Let me think. Is there anything else that I'm wanting to point out about these? Oh, Cerakoted barrels. These, all of my Savages came, the barrels and everything are Cerakoted. I like the matte finish. I don't like the gloss. I don't know, like, this is a pretty inexpensive rifle, but it would cost almost as much as the rifle to have it sent out. And if it was in a shiny barrel or something like that, it would cost just about as much as I paid for this rifle to have send it out and have it Cerakoted. Not really that big a deal. Anyway, so here we go. This also came with the AccuTrigger. You can see that. And just like the 17 HMR, this, I mean, if you see it, there's no take up on it. There's no pre-travel. Very crisp trigger. It's pretty light, but not too light. I don't want them accidentally going off. If I've got one racked and for some reason I don't have it on safe, if I set it on the ground, I don't want that little bit of jar to set it off. But I'm thinking this is probably, I don't know, maybe at the most maybe a 3-pound trigger. So it's not super touchy, but it's not super heavy either. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Again, nothing really special about this. This one I did go with, again, this is not, I'm not worried about recoil. I'm more worried about, this is just a standard reticle in this scope. I'm not worried about whether it can handle the recoil, because I mean there's pretty much nothing that can't handle the recoil of a 22. But this is a this is a 3x9. So this is a 9 power scope. which surprises me because I'm, usually I like a little more zoomies on the scope. But again, 22, I'm not reaching out too far with it. But yeah, I mean, it's got really nice texturing on the stock. I mean, it's kind of the run of the mill old style checkering back here and on the forend. I mean, it's a composite stock, but I mean, it's not hollow. I mean, it's hollow, but it's not super thin. And this one is not a rubber butt plate. It is, again, composite, but recoil, you're not worried about that. The grip does have a nice traditional, I mean, everything about the stock is very traditional. Shape and everything is, there's nothing like super spectacular about it. They kept it simple. They didn't overdo it. And yeah, Savage. I mean, what do you want from Savage? I mean, they make some really high-end stuff that does cost money, but they are thinking about, hey, they're not wanting to spend $700 on a 22 rifle, so they kept the cost down, but it's really, it's really a sound rifle. And I like it. I shoot this quite a bit, and I just when I want to, get out and do something and not raise too much hell and get the people down the road upset with me. So yeah, it's a good little rifle, and this is why, I mean, everybody's got their likes. I mean, there's people that like Benelli's and this and that and the other thing, but I've always been a Savage person. Again, my very first rifle that I got when I moved back to Indiana, my very first rifle that I ever got was a Savage 22. I wish I'd have never got rid of it. That thing, it was an older one, much older, wooden stock, but it was my first rifle, and kind of wish I actually got that from my brother. I got that from my brother. So, yeah, I've gotten rid of some good ones, but yeah, when I'm a brand loyal kind of person. I find something that works, but you can't knock it. I mean, Savage, you guys do it, and you do it right. So there's that. So anyway, I'm gonna do away with my normal outro because this is 4-part series that I'm doing, and I'm kind of doing them one right after the other. But as usual, everybody knows I support all first responders, all branches of the military, past and present. So just for the sake of this series, I am not going to do my regular outro thanking everybody like that. But I'm going to end this one, and I'm going to get started on the next one. And the next one, in part 3, I will be going over my 6.5 Creedmoor. So until I get this one, get time to shut this down and whatnot and get everything lined up, I am happy with Black Duck 24. And I'll see you guys shortly on the next one.